many of you like to eat a steak? Or a hamburger occasionally? I definitely do. But how would you feel if you knew that hamburger was grown in a lab? Would you feel any differently about it?
Disgusting.
Well, today I'm going to talk to you a little about lab grown meat, also known as cultured meat. I'm going to focus a little bit on how it's made, some of its disadvantages, and the advantages of buying your meat from a local producer. As someone who grows cows myself, I am really passionate about this topic, and I've done quite a bit of research for this speech, which I really enjoyed. So, without further ado, let's begin. Before we can dive into the pros and cons of lab-grown meat, we need to understand just a little bit about how it's made. Okay. There we go. So, lab-grown meat is basically made by multiplying cells in a lab. Cells that can duplicate themselves, called stem cells, are extracted from the fat, muscle, and tissue of an animal. The cells are then put in a nutrient bath to multiply, and then put inside of a stainless steel drum called a bioreactor, which kind of mimics the inside of an animal. After the cells are mature, they form fat and muscle fibers, which can then be used to make different foods like sausage or hamburger. Now that we kind of know the basics of how it's made, let's talk a little bit about some of the possible disadvantages. Although lab-grown meat claims to be more economically beneficial, humane, nutritious, that may not be the case. For one, the adoption of widespread cultured meat products could cause some problems for smaller farmers and producers. According to an article written on December 21st, 2023, titled 11 Pros and 14 Cons of Lab-Grown Meat, a Comprehensive Analysis, writer Melina Wilson states that as lab-grown meat technology advances, concerns arise about a few large companies possibly gaining control over the market and potentially leading to monopolies and limiting the competition. Another one is, although it claims to be more humane, lab-grown meat, as of now, still requires the use of bovine fetal serum, or BFS, for cell culture. So, BFS is extracted from the fetuses of cattle in the slaughterhouse. So, in a sense, the production of cultured meat still requires traditional harvesting, which is kind of weird. And third, while cultured meat could possibly be nutritionally altered for the better, it contains inconsistent amounts of nutrients. And this could possibly lead to deficiencies if it was consumed extensively. According to a report from March 15th, 2023, from the Food Standards Agency titled Identification of Hazards in Meat Production from Cultured Meat Cells, there may possibly be some vitamins, minerals, and other nutritionally relevant components not present in cultured meat. Some of these include vitamin B, creatine, carcinogen, vitamin D3, and iron. And the reason for that is those aren't actually produced in the muscle cells themselves. Those are sent to the muscle from elsewhere in the body. So if it's not in the body, it can't exactly gain all of those it needs. So as you can see, there are a few different aspects of lab-grown meat that still require some answers, and those answers have yet to be discovered. But there are other options when it comes to sourcing your meat. Meat raised on smaller farms and ranches offer several advantages when compared to lab-grown meat. For one, traditional practices encourage economic growth. So smaller farmers and ranchers can offer a little more competition, which in turn helps keep prices lower. The price of conventionally grown meat is also a lot lower than lab-grown meat. According to an article on The Conversation from June 27, 2023, biochemistry professor Andre O. Hudson explains that 1 pound of lab-grown beef costs anywhere from $17 to $23 in 2021, whereas traditionally grown meat only costs around $5. That's a pretty big price jump. Another benefit is that animals raised on smaller operations are also cared for in the most humane way possible. Those animals are our livelihood, and we want to take care of them the best that we can. There are also certain organizations, like the Arkansas Cattlemen's Association, that provide programs like the Beef Quality Assurance Program to ensure that those animals are raised and harvested in the most humane way possible. And thirdly, conventionally grown meat is consistent in nutrients and vitamins and minerals, like zinc, iron, protein, and vitamin B12. So, in conclusion, although lab grown meat could be beneficial in some respects, there's still a lot. There's still a lot that it's lacking. If you're looking for a sustainable, humane, and cost-effective source for your meat, talk to a local producer. As someone who is involved in this process from farm to